I'm Stephanie Filardi. Welcome to Mind the Gap, the podcast. I believe many people fall short of living the life of their dreams simply because they get stuck in what I call the gap. The vision behind this podcast is to help you understand how to navigate the gap and in the process, awaken to the life that is waiting for you. It starts now. Let's go. Welcome and thank you for joining. Let's begin by taking 3 conscious breaths. Inhale through the nose, filling up. Exhale out of your mouth, let go. Again, inhale through the nose, filling up. Exhale out of the mouth, release, let go. And one more time, inhale, filling up. Exhale, sigh it out. Let it go. And I invite you to also take a moment here to notice the physical body. So maybe the shoulders can relax a little down away from the ears. See if you can physically embody this place of consciousness. Relaxation. So bringing a little more ease into the body, making yourself a little bit more comfortable at this moment so that you can receive the wisdom that might be here for you today. So on the last episode, I talked about health, and I spoke about the foundations of health being nutrition, movement, stress management, and rest. Today, I'd like to go a little bit deeper into the conversation about nutrition. If you remember from the last episode, I talked about the spectrum of health, where in the middle of the spectrum of health, a lot of us reside in what I call unsick, which means we're not optimally giving our body the food and the fuel that it needs to feel good. Sometimes we feel blah. Maybe we get the seasonal allergy or cold and think it's normal. Then we get on the medicine because we're sick. And we never really get to that place of optimal because we're living in more of a reactive mode. So in order for us to truly move on the spectrum to the place of what I call optimal health, which is more of a preventative mindset where we're feeling good and we have the necessary energy that we need, we really need to look at what we're feeding our body. So as most of you know, the healthcare system today is broken. I don't want to get too serious about this topic, but I think it's important to recognize where we are and that most of our healthcare system is really sick care, meaning it's designed to treat, right? To treat what happens to us. So in a sense, it's very reactive. And my intention with this podcast is to help move us into the mindset of what I call well care. So moving from this place of sick care to well care. And that requires making health a priority. So when it comes to nutrition, I can't stress enough that what we feed our cells plays a vital role in how we feel, meaning the energy that we have, the focus that we have, our ability to get rest at night. So our health. As many of you know, we have the epidemic of obesity, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, all of which is connected to our nutrition as well as to our levels of stress. When I speak about the importance of nutrition, even for those of us who are eating healthy, what's different is that 100 years ago, our food supply was different. The soil was free of hormones. It was nutrient dense. We cooked meals at home more. So it was like as if food and the home and nutrition was more of a priority. Today, we are concerned about hormones in the food, about pesticides, antibiotics, GMOs. So the food supply today is very different. which is why it's important to understand that what we're feeding our body might not be exactly what our body is needing and craving. I've noticed in my work over the years with clients and also in my own life that oftentimes our body is actually starving for nutrition. So people will come to me for weight loss, or maybe they're lacking energy, and it's not because they're depriving their body of calories. What I notice is that they're actually depriving their body of nutrients, of the right nutrients, because of some of what I said. The food supply is different. We have to worry about hormones. So in addition to that, many of us aren't making health a priority, and therefore our food choices are poor. I'm happy to see that there's a lot more kind of fast food options that are healthier coming out because many of us are busy and we're not cooking at home anymore. But this concept of our body really being nutritionally deprived, I think, is important. And it's important for a few reasons. First of all, knowledge is power, right? If we don't know what's wrong, then we can't fix it. But the other thing is, I have found, especially with people who really have struggled with their weight, is that it doesn't have to be so hard. So I'm going to give you an example. If I start my day with a healthy, balanced breakfast, meaning the right balance of protein, fat, and carbs, then I'm going to feel full. I'm going to feel satisfied. And I'm not going to be craving necessarily the sugar and the caffeine. So when we give our body what it needs, when we're eating in balance, when we're eating what's right for our body, we actually feel good. But like I said in the last episode, if we're waking up and we're not eating breakfast, which I believe is the most important meal of the day, then we're putting our body at a disadvantage. We're not as mentally sharp, maybe we're edgy and cranky, and we're also slowing down our metabolism, which when we do that, we start to store food as fat. So, having said all that, what do we do? And something that I have found helpful over the years is to do a reset. So it's kind of like a 3-part process. So from a nutritional standpoint, I've never been a huge fan of cleanses in an extreme sense. Quite frankly, nothing extreme interests me because I feel that really a life of balance is a life that is sustainable. So, however, I have designed over the years a balanced cleanse that helps to reset our system. So one of the things that we can do is a healthy cleanse. In the process, adopt a healthy nutrition routine and then add in some good vitamins. So oftentimes people will say to me, well, I don't know, I'm afraid to do a cleanse. Is it going to be too extreme for me? I have to go to work. So here's what I'll say about the cleanses that I do. They're very balanced, and they include food and they include vitamins. It's not about drinking green drinks all day because I don't believe that works and I don't think that is sustainable. So why do we cleanse? The number one reason why we cleanse is to reset our body. What does that mean? Well, most of us have digestive systems that really are a little out of whack. And when I say out of whack, meaning maybe we're not properly absorbing the food that we're taking in, or maybe we don't have bowel movements, 2 to 3 times a day, which we're supposed to. So what's happening is when our digestive system is out of balance, we're not absorbing the food and we're not getting rid of the toxins. Why does our digestive system get out of balance? Well, stress, also medicine that we take. The other reason our digestive system is out of balance is because some of us aren't getting the right amount of fiber for our body, the right amount of fiber. So part of a cleanse helps to reset the digestive system. The other thing that a cleanse does is it detoxes the liver. And the liver is our blood filter. So anything that we take into our body or put on our skin is filtered through the liver. So even those of us who maybe, don't engage in alcohol or any drug use and have never done that, we're still absorbing toxins from our food supply and from the environment. So it's really important to give our liver a detox. The other thing a cleanse does is clean our blood supply. So it cleans our blood supply. So it's an overall reset of the entire body, which oftentimes results in a reduced craving. So like if you are someone who maybe craves caffeine or craves sugar, what happens when we do a proper cleanse, a cleanse that's balanced, again, with proper food and proper vitamins, is we end up feeling better. We have more energy. We have more focus. Sometimes it's a jump start to weight loss. So when we clean our body and we reduce the amount of toxins in our body, naturally we feel better. That's why we cleanse. The second thing in terms of resetting the system is our food. So as part of a cleanse, a healthy cleanse, it's really about eating fruits and vegetables. It's about eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's about being consistent with the eating, so grazing, not eating huge portions at once, and about eating plant protein. So I know many of you might be saying, yes, I've heard that before, fruits and vegetables, plant protein, grazing, but maybe you feel like it's not for you, or you're going to be hungry, or it's not going to work. And I will say this, that you have nothing to lose by trying. And when your body is getting the nutrients it needs, it naturally comes back into balance. So when it comes to a healthy cleanse, food, the type of food you're eating is very important, which is why I said earlier, I'm not an advocate of these juice cleanses, because that's not something that's sustainable. So when we end up doing a cleanse that's balanced, you start to develop habits and you start to notice, wow, I actually can sustain myself on plant protein. Meaning maybe those of you who eat more meat than you'd like realize that when you have plant protein, it actually fills you up. Like anything in life, what you put in is what you get out. So if you're putting high quality foods in your body, you're going to naturally feel better. And then the third part of this reset, so we have the cleanse, we have the foods, is a high quality vitamin. So I've said this before, there's a lot of information out there about what to take and what not to take and what actually works. And what I will say is, when you put the good stuff in, you start to feel good. So having good quality vitamins includes a vitamin that provides you with minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, omega-3s, a probiotic. So without getting too technical, those, for most of us, again, even those of us who are eating healthy, we need all of those in our body to feel good and to operate at what I call optimal health. So quality equals results. So when it comes to nutrition, just to recap, the cleanse is designed to be a reset. So it's almost like it levels the playing field. In the process, it gets the toxins out and it gives us the opportunity to establish some new habits and some new routines and to see what it feels like. By adding in vitamins, you also get to see what it feels like when you introduce your body to high quality nutrients, minerals, and antioxidants. The other thing that I want to say is, when our body is under stress, we go through our nutrients a lot faster, and particularly B complex. So for example, I know for myself, when I'm exerting a lot of energy, which is stress on the body, even in a good way, that I take more B complex because I can feel my energy level waning. Many people don't realize it takes energy simply to digest your food. So when you start to understand the combination of vitamins and food that work for your body, you naturally start to move along the spectrum to that place of optimal health, where you have the energy to live, where you have focus. And believe it or not, you actually may start to sleep better because you need to feel rested in order to sleep. So more on that another time. My invitation to you today is to take a look at your nutrition. How are you eating? How is it making you feel? Is there something that you're doing repeatedly that's simply a habit that isn't making you feel good? To take a look at it and decide if you're willing to make health a priority. And if you are, what are you willing to do about it? I'm excited to announce that starting next month on Monday, September 9th, I'm going to do a 30-day health challenge, which will consist of a cleanse, food, and vitamins. So it's 30 days. It's going to be fun. You will have a lot of support. So if you're interested in resetting your body after the summer, before the holidays, and getting yourself on a good path to wellness, then let me know by emailing me at Stephanie@BronxvilleWellness.com. That's STEPHANIE at Bronxville, BRONXVILLE, wellness.com. Let's go.